Imagine a katana forged in fire and will, once Japan's emblem of unbreakable resolve. That same edge now takes flight, not as a blade but as GCAP, the Global Combat Air Program. Born from the union of Japan, the United Kingdom, and Italy, this sixth-generation fighter is a symphony of steel and silicon, a new guardian rising to reclaim the skies from stealthy swarms and missile storms. This is not just a jet. It's redemption. It's defiance. It's the story of nations that refuse to fade. In a land where volcanoes sleep beneath cherry blossoms, Japan has always been a place of contradictions. Tranquil gardens shadowed by the memory of storms. The samurai once carried swords of folded steel. Their code, Bushido, was not born in peace, but in survival. Every dawn was a test of will. When the fires of World War II dimmed, Japan rose from the ashes not with vengeance, but with vision. Article 9 of its constitution chained the nation's military might, binding it to defense alone. But beneath that restraint, a silent ember burned, the will to protect what is sacred. By the late 1970s, that ember sparked in the skies. The Mitsubishi F-1 became Japan's first homegrown fighter. Sleek, modest, and proud, it carried the spirit of a country learning to fly again. Strapping into the F-1, recalls Captain Hiroshi Tanaka, felt like wearing a haori woven by the gods. Light, lethal, alive. Then came the F-2, Japan's sentinel over the East China Sea, a derivative of the American F-16. It was built not just for speed, but for endurance, guarding the homeland against the probing eyes of Soviet and, later, Chinese aircraft. By 2023, Japan's Air Self-Defense Force had scrambled more than 1,000 intercepts a year. Pilots like Major Aiko Nakamura would leave family dinners unfinished, kiss their toddlers goodbye, and launch into the night. Every takeoff is a promise, she said softly. To come back, to protect the laughter back home. But even promises age. The F-2 fleet, weary yet unyielding, would soon bow to time. The skies demanded something new, something worthy of the samurai's legacy. The I-3 fighter concept was born from that need, informed, intelligent, instantaneous. A vision of a stealth predator that could see without being seen, strike without hesitation, and survive where no pilot could. Japan's engineers dreamed in circuits and light. EN-based radars that could pierce stealth. AI co-pilots that learned in real time. Fly-by-light controls are immune to electronic warfare. And at its heart, the XF91 engine, 11 tons of thrust. A variable cycle marvel, whispering promises of Mach 2 speed. Yet dreams collided with politics. The U.S. refused to export the F-22 Raptor, leaving Japan to craft its own answer to the growing shadows. Out of disappointment came determination. The FX was born, a twin-engine stealth giant, nicknamed Godzilla. Its design was pure artistry, radar-absorbing composites, serpentine inlets, and electric actuators replacing bulky hydraulics. Every rivet whispered of patience, every curve a lesson in invisibility. Still, Japan stood alone, and alone, even the mighty can fall. In Britain, the wind carries memories of the Battle of Britain, when young pilots in Spitfires held back the tide of tyranny. Churchill's words still echo. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. 80 years later, those words haunt the RAF once more. The world has changed, but the shadows have not. Russia's missiles slash across Ukraine's skies. China's ambitions stretch across oceans. And Britain, weary but unbroken, prepares to rise again. The Eurofighter Typhoon, with its delta wings and screaming EJ-200 engines, has guarded Europe's skies for 2 decades. But its pilots feel the strain. Every sortie chips at your soul. says Flight Lieutenant Emma Hargrove. You wave goodbye, not knowing if it's the last. In 2018, amid Brexit's turmoil, Britain unveiled Tempest, a new vision. Not just a jet, but an ecosystem of drones, AI, and data. A system of systems. It was the phoenix of a nation seeking its roar again. And in 2022, destiny called across continents. Britain's Tempest met Japan's FX. Two dreams, once separate, converged. And Italy, master of sensors and avionics, joined the pact. Together they forged GCAP. Italy's aviation story is one of beauty and resilience. From Da Vinci's sketches to the silver wings of the Fiat G91 and the desert duels of the AMX, Italian pilots have always fought with artistry. Today, from Sicily's sun-baked airbases, Typhoon pilots stand watch over the Mediterranean. Capitano Sofia Rossi describes it best. Every takeoff feels like a lover's farewell. You fly for family, for heritage, for the vineyards you may never see again. When Italy joined GCAP, it wasn't just about technology, it was about trust. Leonardo, Italy's aerospace giant, brought sensor wizardry that could read the battlefield like a symphony. Quantum-secure links, infrared eyes, and electronic countermeasures that dance between frequencies. The three nations, Japan, the UK, and Italy, became a trinity of purpose, one forged by necessity, tempered by loss, and united by hope. December 9, 2022, Tokyo. Under the solemn gaze of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, the GCAP treaty was signed. Cameras flashed, but for those in the room, it was more than politics. It was an oath. No ITAR chains, no restrictions. True sovereignty in design, export, and innovation. BAE Systems took the airframe. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries mastered integration. Leonardo sculpted the electronic soul. Together, they formed Edgewing, a joint venture with one mission: to build the future of flight. The numbers are staggering. A 25-ton fighter with a 2,000 nautical mile range, super cruise capability without afterburners, and enough AI processing power to map the sky in milliseconds. Rolls-Royce, IHI, and Avio Aero combined to create engines that breathe intelligence, delivering 40 tons of thrust while whispering through radar. Inside, quantum-encrypted Isanki systems fuse radar, EW, and communication into a single living network. Pilots no longer just fly, they feel the battle space. Weapons? 6 internal meteors, capable of Mach 4+ pursuit. JNAM hybrids blending Japanese radar seekers with European ramjets. Hypersonic ASM-3A anti-ship missiles. Laser pods that can vaporize drones at the speed of light. This is not science fiction. It's already happening. Each nation brings its ghosts. For Japan, the pain of the Pacific. For Britain, the echo of Spitfires and sirens. For Italy, the pride of empires turned to duty. Together, they turn memory into might. Major Nakamura, Flight Lieutenant Hargrove, Capitano Rossi, 3 warriors from 3 flags, now train side by side in simulators that blur borders. They share data, tactics, and fears. And when they climb into their GSAP cockpits, they carry not just their nations, but the hopes of millions who believe in peace through strength. One pilot once said, "Flying this jet feels like holding lightning." Another whispered, "It feels like the future has a heartbeat." And perhaps that's what GCAP truly is. Not just a machine, but a living testament to human resolve. As dawn breaks over the Pacific, the first GCAP prototype gleams beneath the rising sun. Its silhouette cuts through mist like a katana through silence. The engines ignite, a low growl building into a thunderous roar. 3 pilots stand shoulder to shoulder. Japanese, British, Italian. Helmets under arms, eyes fixed on the sky. Their ancestors forged blades, flew Spitfires, and painted the heavens with courage. Now, they pass the torch. The jet roars skyward, contrails etching a single word across the horizon. Hope. Because GCAP is not just an aircraft. It is the promise of protection, the answer to those who would threaten peace, and the embodiment of every engineer, soldier, and citizen who refused to yield. The future of the skies has arrived. Hit that subscribe button now. Join the mission, because tomorrow's dawn belongs to the bold, and the guardians of freedom have just taken flight. GCAP, forged by fire, united by purpose, flown by the brave.